WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Selena Schaefer. President Trump returns to a familiar role as campaigner-in-chief as he speaks at a rally in Florida. Huge crowds stretched as far as the eye could see to welcome Mr. Trump back to the state. Kenneth Craig has a story from Melbourne, Florida.
They stood under the hot Florida sun and they waited for hours. Thousands of President Donald Trump's supporters turned out for a campaign-style rally with the man they already voted into the White House. Gene Huber was first in line at 4 o'clock this morning.
He made all these promises to us, and he's doing every single promise that he's mentioned. And that's the one thing that I've always believed with President Trump. What he says is going to happen.
This is not the first time the president has rallied here at this airport. Thousands of his supporters also showed up in September in a county and state that helped him secure the presidency.
This is my 14th rally, and I've been to 3 Mike Pence rallies.
Wow. Why so many?
I just like to support Donald Trump.
The rally comes after a turbulent first month in office, which includes the halt of his immigration ban, the resignation of Michael Flynn, his national security advisor, and the withdrawal of his pick for labor secretary. Now, sources tell CBS News that the president's choice for Navy secretary, Philip Bilden, is on the verge of withdrawing his nomination.
I believe that in the past, as an individual, when Donald Trump has failed, he's managed to pull it together and make himself a success.
Across the street, hundreds of demonstrators protested against him. Supporters told us they were eager to hear more about the president's promise to create jobs, especially in the aerospace industry along Florida's Space Coast, the former home of NASA's shuttle program, in a county where many of those jobs have dried up. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Melbourne, Florida.
Now, a White House official told the Associated Press that the president plans to interview 2 possible candidates to replace his national security advisor this weekend at his resort in Palm Beach, Florida. Norma McCorvey, the anonymous plaintiff known as Jane Roe in the historical Roe v. Wade court case, has died. The U.S. Supreme Court case established a constitutional right to abortion. However, McCorvey later became an anti-abortion activist. McCorvey died in the Houston area with her daughter Melissa and several grandchildren present, according to a priest that was close to the family. A new regulation in Mississippi has some tax experts and conservative groups in questioning. The regulation would require that large sellers to collect taxes on internet sales. Revenue Commissioner Herb Frierson agrees with the rule that, which is not yet enacted, challenges the U.S. Supreme Court precedent that forbids states from requiring tax collections by companies without in-state locations. He says that court reconsideration of past rulings is the point that the opponents, though, question whether the Pearson has the power to enact a rule opposing that to a previous Supreme Court decision. The Columbus Police Department will be hosting a career day 1 week from today and hopes to fill some open spots. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., the CPD will be actively seeking applicants for Columbus police officers. There will be visits with officers and command staff, demos of equipment, tours of the building and police vehicles, and even a trip to the shooting range for a demo of police weapons. Some of the available opportunities for applicants include patrol officers, investigators, canine officers, motorcycle officers, and more. CPD's Human Resources Department will be on hand to explain pay and benefits, as well as take applications on the spot. There will be a water outage for Parks Utilities water system in northeast Noxubee County on Monday, February 20th from 10 a.m. until about 2 p.m. due to a water line repair. It will affect customers on Sandy Lane Road, Wells Road, and Pumpkin Creek Road. Customers are encouraged to boil their water prior to use. Well, it's now time to turn it over to weather for our first look with meteorologist Griffin Hardy. Griffin, how's that weather looking out there?
Well, we've got an upper level low situated over top of Mississippi on our water vapor satellite. Brought a lot of rainfall farther off to the east in parts of Georgia and the Carolinas earlier this afternoon. But back here at home, skies are partly cloudy outside at the moment. The Alpha Insurance Skycam. The sun is trying to peek through. The skies will continue to clear out for the rest of the evening tonight. Expect mid-50s by 7 o'clock and then lower 50s later on by 11. And for tomorrow, could see some patchy fog early in the morning, but skies will turn mostly sunny by the afternoon. Highs in the 70s. All full of Couture 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Selena?
All right, thanks for that update there, Griffin. Well, Boy Scouts of America is an organization designed to help young men build character, responsibility, and develop personal fitness. For each skill that the Scouts master, they earn a merit badge. WCBI's Victoria Bailey spent the day learning that as the world continues to evolve, so do the skills that the Scouts need to be successful.
Yeah, Selena, it may be called the Mississippi University for Women, but I saw several young men on campus today. The Pushmataha Area Council hosted close to 100 young scouts on campus, working to earn classic badges and some modern ones too.
When I was coming along, they were a lot simpler merit badges.
As technology continues to advance, so do the skills needed to become an Eagle Scout.
With the Boy Scouts being around for over 100 years, you know, welding is a merit badge that has only existed now for a couple of years, or digital technology.
There are 135 merit badges available to the Scouts, with some being a requirement. Now, Executive Scout Jeremy Whitmore says these skills will help the Scouts move up in the ranks.
On the trail to become an Eagle Scout, a Scout has to earn 21 merit badges. So some of those are required that every Eagle Scout has to earn, but then there's an array of other ones that they get to pick and choose of what they want to earn. So as an example, every Scout is going to earn the Communications Merit Badge, the First Aid Merit Badge.
Donald Ellis is the Assistant Scout Master for Troop 30 in Eupora, and he says since the world is developing so quickly, so are the skills the Scouts need to survive.
World changes. I mean, 20 years ago, we didn't need computer merit badge. And of course, we've always had aviation and things like that, but they've changed from biplanes when I used to take the merit badge to jets now.
Whitmore says though earning the badges moves you up the ladder, they can also be beneficial outside of the organization.
Only 4% of Boy Scouts become Eagle Scouts. So 96% of these young men won't achieve that pinnacle level of scouting. But the leadership, the service, the character building that they'll get out of scouting is still very important, even if they don't become an Eagle Scout. And these badges, often many Scouts find careers or hobbies based on these merit badges that they're earning. So a young man today taking the photography merit badge may now have a brand new hobby that he'll have for the rest of his life.
Now, Eagle Scout is the highest achievement or rank a Scout can receive. Selena?
All right, thanks for that story here, Victoria, in the studio. Well, a recent Mississippi State University research study says that more dogs go home from animal shelters than previously thought. Veterinary medicine professors Kimberly Woodruff and David Smith surveyed more than 400 shelters across the country. Using their findings, they estimate that shelters nationwide take in 5.5 billion dogs each year, and of that total, nearly 1 million are returned to previous owners, and 2.6 million are adopted by new owners. Nearly 800,000 are transferred, while about the same number of dogs are killed by shelters. Smith says that shelters in the southeast are transferring large numbers of dogs to other regions where there are fewer dogs. He says that means fewer dogs may be euthanized, but says that those dogs could be spreading heartworms and other regional diseases, indicating a need to emphasize disease control. Mississippi State University hosted its annual Archaeological Association Conference this weekend. The conference began Friday with participants taking a lab and museum tours on campus, as well as a welcome reception. The weekend is designed to highlight how important anthropology is to understanding the origin of the human race. It's common to look to the history books to learn about human culture, but to get the full picture, Mississippi State professor Evan Peacock says that you have to dig deeper.
It's the big picture. It is the human story. Almost all of the human story is an archaeological story. History is just the very latest snippet of human existence. So if we want to understand the human story, which I think most people do, archaeology is the necessary component.
The conference will conclude Sunday with a banquet where all in attendance will learn about revealing ancient earthworks through geophysics from guest speaker Jared Burks. Coming up after the break, one local town is getting a head start on some spring cleaning. Stay with us to hear why the town thinks this is an important act.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Selena Schaefer.
Welcome back. One Northeast Mississippi community is getting serious about the age-old slogan, Keep America Beautiful. WCBI's Chad Groening attended a community cleanup day event and has more.
Keeping Aberdeen beautiful was the message Saturday as residents, students, and city officials turned out for the city's first cleanup day.
It means everything to get our young people out, to get our senior citizens out, to just get the community out, period, to come out and help us clean the city.
Starting the community-wide cleanup was a grassroots effort.
Actually, there's a very concerned citizen that comes to our board meeting every week, and she would stress the issue about the littering. So I come up with the idea for us to get outside and clean up. You know, get people involved, get every alderman involved, go to their wards, and make sure that you keep your streets clean.
One volunteer says seeing his city clean is his top priority.
I just like actually getting active with the community to like see things go a better way, always see the better outcome of everything.
Though many residents showed up to do their part, the city of Aberdeen still had a little help.
Home Depot and our contact, Ms. LaToya Lloyd, were awesome and very instrumental in basically gifting all the trash bags and all the resources that we're using today. So we send a huge thank you to them. They have been so helpful, from even hats and t-shirts to make sure the kids don't get too hot or water, everything you could think of. They've been a great help.
In Aberdeen, I'm Victoria Bailey for WCBI News.
Mayor Howard says that he would like to have another citywide cleanup day in April.
Expecting large amounts of rainfall over the next 48 to 72 hours in San Francisco Bay and points to the northwest. I'll show you when we can expect the most rainfall this week, coming up in your 7-day forecast.
Your First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist Griffin Hardy.
Gorgeous sunset coming to us from Mr. Danny Avery from the Stanislaus Dam here in Columbus. And just make sure you keep these pictures coming to stay connected with us on social media at WCBI Weather on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The current temperatures right now are in the upper 50s to lower 60s. We're at 62 in Tupelo, 58 in Amory, 57 for us here in Columbus, and we are at 60 current temperature right now in Macon. For the rest of the night tonight, skies will continue to clear out and will dip down into the mid and upper 40s. Clear and mostly on the cooler side, but fairly comfortable. And we do have some dense fog advisories in effect, mainly covering our southern viewing area, south of our viewing area, I should say, mainly south of I-20. Could see some patchy fog, though, early on tomorrow morning. And as far as the forecast goes, that fog will begin to clear out as the afternoon goes on. Looking at mainly sunshine for tomorrow. Lots of high temperatures in the 70s for this week, and the rain chances will be patchy for this coming week. This high-pressure system will be keeping the forecast fairly calm for the short term. Not seeing any rain chances for tomorrow or Monday, but later on into the week, by Tuesday, a weak cold front begins to drag its way through the region. And I wouldn't get your hopes up too high for any, washouts, but could see some isolated showers for Tuesday. For tomorrow, though, that patchy fog will make its way out of here by 9 a.m. Skies will be turning mostly sunny for the afternoon. Daytime highs getting into the low and mid 70s across the region. Very comfortable for your Sunday. And in the 7-day forecast, more cloud cover begins to build in for Monday. Mostly cloudy skies. Rain chances at 30% for Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, we get up into the upper 70s. And then Friday, another slim rain chance comes in at 30%. I expect that rain chance to come in once we get closer to Friday. Then after that stronger cold front passes through, Saturday we get back down into those 60s. Selena?
All right, coming up, opening weekend on the Diamond continues, and Mississippi State goes for the upset against Florida in basketball. All the highlights next in sports.
Here's WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
Mississippi State has been fortunate with the SEC schedule this year. The top 3 teams in the conference, all top 20 teams, all came to Humphrey Coliseum. MSU is right there with Kentucky and South Carolina, and they hope that the third time would be the charm to get the win today, as the Bulldogs were hosting their 3rd nationally ranked team at the Hump this year. This time it was the 15th ranked Florida Gators. The Bulldogs jumped on it quickly. Xavier Stapleton going to drive the hoop and the harm. Bulldogs jumped out to a 13-7 lead. Gators would respond with a 7-0 run, but MSU's defense was swarming. Here's Quindary Weatherspoon with the steal and the finish. He'd finish with a game-high 17, but Florida would finish the first half strong. Chris Chiozza. Watch this drive and finish with the left hand. The scoop shot off glass, good. Gators go into the half up 32-24. Florida would lead by as many as 12 in the second half. Bulldogs would rally. One of the 16 turnovers forced. Lamar Peters up ahead. Mario Kegler. It's a 5-point game. And one basketball game, oh boy, one possession game, it got interesting. Quindary inside. Eric Holman with the slam. We got a tie game with 2 minutes to go. But the play of the game, and this is just sort of epitomizes MSU's run of recent weeks, gets a block shot and the ball caroms right down underneath to Kavarius Hayes for the finish. Bulldogs couldn't pull down the offensive board. Florida takes a 2-point lead. They go on to win 57-52. First loss for the Bulldogs when holding a team under 65 this year. Here's a reaction after the game.
You know, we had the game tied 52-all. Get a block shot that falls short, falls right in our hands because we're not seeing the ball, and that's just like a, you know, that's a tough 50-50 ball that we got to be able at home to get to and pounce on. You can see, I mean, we're the youngest team in the country. We're right there with nationally ranked teams. You know, we just need a little more to get it over the hump.
I think we just got to keep playing as a team and knock down some shots. I mean, we were 2 for 23 from 3. I feel like that hurt us tonight, and normally if we could hit 8 or 9 of those, I think we could pull it to win out tonight. But I mean, we just got to keep playing as a team. I think we did a great job defensively. I mean, they like to score. I mean, they averaged like 80 points or something like that. We kept them down at 50-something. But, I mean, we just got to keep playing.
And Ole Miss in action right now against Arkansas. That game's on the SEC Network. Rebels trying to keep it close with the Razorbacks. This game, by the way, still going on in baseball. Mississippi State taking on Western Illinois. It's actually updated. I believe it's now 7-2. They're in the 5th inning. Cole Gordon has a home run for the Bulldogs. So MSU's trying to get a win against a Western Illinois team that's been beaten, battered, and bruised by Texas Tech. We'll give you the full highlights and reaction coming up at 10. To the diamond and actual highlights. Ole Miss looking to clinch the series win against East Carolina. Top 2, James MacArthur pitching and Luke Bolka is hitting. A solo shot to left center, very reminiscent of yesterday's game for Ole Miss, giving up a solo home run in the early innings. So East Carolina would go up 2-0 in the 5th, bases loaded with 1 out. Andy Pagnozzi comes out and gets the 6-4-3 double play to end the threat. That would be the last time that East Carolina would even threaten or have a chance to score. Bottom 6, Colby Bortles. Look at the size of me kilt. This one's going way out to left. It's a solo bomb. You almost don't even see it leave the yard because that's how far of a moonshot it was. It's a 2-1 game after 6. Then the 7th, here's New Hope's Will Golson going down the left field.